Hey Embody, it's Clint here again for another 30-minute workout. That circuit training workout that will have a mixture of strength component and that high intensity interval hit components roped in. We'll have a total of 5 stations that will rotate through, each 3 minutes long, and we'll warm up a little bit beforehand, have a nice cool down stretch at the end, all to come into that 30 minutes. So what you need today is either a light or medium set of weights, or 2 soup cans, 2 wine bottles, 2 bottles of water. That way you can drink them as we go, but you'll need that. And then you also need a ledge that will be able to do some different exercises with. A chair would work out just fine. The edge of a bed would work out just fine. If you're outside, stairs, that type of thing, but you're gonna need a solid edge, a cooler that you're going to be able to put that pressure against for one of our exercises. So pause the video, grab that type of stuff, and then start it back up again and we can get going. So we're first going to warm up today, similar warm up that I've had in the other 2 videos. We're going to go through this 3 times. You're going to do 20 jumping jacks, 10 squats, 5 speed skaters per side. Through that 3 times, then we'll do a little bit more just to get our body warmed up and ready for today. If there's another warm-up that you guys want to do, if you hop on a bike, go for a run, that type of thing, you can always jump to where we're going to start those stations. But let's get that warm-up going. So again, making sure you've got enough space, 20 jumping jacks, 10 squats, and 5 speed skaters 3 times through. So go ahead. Remember that with this warm-up, it's meant to get that body ready for the exercises that we're going to do later. So don't push yourself too much. Don't get really tired. Don't get that heart rate up too high. Remember that when you're doing squats, to watch to make sure that those knees aren't going over those toes. You're sitting that butt back, keeping that upper body elevated. With those speed skaters reaching behind, getting that crossover. And remember, 5 per side. Getting some arm motion in it as well. And you're going to go back through that 2 more times. You want to get that squat nice and low, almost like you're going to sit in a chair. And last time. In those squats, making sure you're sitting down into the heel of that foot, not pitching up on your toes, but sitting back into that heel. And with those speed skaters, a modification, if you can't level yourself here with that balance, you can always just go back, tap, and up, tap, tap, tap. But try and get so that you do have that fluid motion from side to side. And getting that 5 on each side. All right, one more thing in that warm-up today. I want you to get down into a plank. Getting that body nice and straight. Gonna go into 5 revolved lunges on each side. So bringing your foot, doesn't matter which one you do first, up to the outside of your hand. That same hand is then gonna reach out into the sky, getting that twist in that body, and back down. just to get some active stretching in those legs and through that spine. Having that body rotate around your spine, nice straight line from the crown of your head all the way through your heels. Getting that 5 on each side, nice and slow and controlled to get that body nice and warmed up. One more each side. All right, so as I had said earlier, we're going to get into 5 different stations. Each station is 3 minutes long. You're going to have 30 seconds of a strength component, followed immediately by 20 seconds of a HIIT component. Then you get 10 seconds rest, and we go back to it through it 2 more times to make up that 3 minutes. So you only have to remember 2 things at once. Whatever we're on with that station, we'll get a little extra rest as I demonstrate your next station, and we'll go through those 5 different stations until we get to the end. So station number 1, you've got around the world lunge explosions. So make sure you have a ton of room. And what that means is that you've got a forward lunge, side lunge, back lunge, and you're gonna do that on one side, and you're gonna continue that all the way around, making that 360 around your body. When you come up from those lunges, I really want you to explode back up. So in that front lunge, getting down nice and low, knee hovering above the ground, other knee hovering over your toes, and then you're going to explode off of that foot that's planted. Then get off to the side. Same thing, knees don't go over your toes, sit back and explode back to the middle. Backwards, nice and low, and explode up, back, making sure you do have that room so that you can get that full motion and going all the way around, exploding back to that center motion. And then when we get into the HIIT, your HIIT here is going to be the jumping jacks, just legs. So you can have your hands right out in front, straight out in front of you, heart center, but I just want those jumping jack legs out and in as fast as you can. So let's get it going. Round 1 in 3, 2, 1, and go. So you've got 30 seconds. That around the world explosion lunges. I really want you to push that body up out of that lunge using whichever leg that you had moved to plant. Going all the way around and continuing that motion. You've got 5 more seconds right here. 3, 2, 1, right into that HIIT. So quick. I find it comfortable to hold my hands right here. And these HIITs, these high intensity intervals, are meant to get that heart rate pumping nice and quick. So push it, fast as you can, and break. So you got 10 seconds. We're gonna go back through that whole thing 2 more times. So get yourself reset, 3, 2, 1, and go. Start going the opposite direction that you did the first time, just so we can get a little bit of some equality on which legs are getting used. If you have bad knees, you can just do it as a step and push, step and push. 3, 2, 1, and hit it right here. Let's go. So every exercise that we do can be made easier. It can be made harder. Whatever you need out of it right here is what we can get out of it. So push, push, come on, right, go, right here. And break. All right, one more time through, you've got this right here. Woo! Nice and toasty, 3, 2, 1, and go. It's right when you get into that fatigue that you can get the most out of it. Pushing through, getting that full range of motion, really feeling that anaerobic push. 3, 2, 1, and hit it. Right here, last time you have to do it, push it. Can you do it a little faster? 10 more seconds, halfway, let's go. Push it, push it. Woo, almost there. And break. All right, nice job. Station 1 is done. So you get a little extra break as I demonstrate station 2. So this, you have an option of having a weight. Just one of them. And your strength component for this are going to be those Russian twists. So that Russian twist, holding your body almost at a 45, so you're engaging that core. Those feet can be lifted if you want a little bit more, or planted on the ground. You're going to take that weight, if you do want it, tapping it from side to side, but I want up and down, reaching up towards the sky, back down towards the ground. When you rotate to the side in that Russian twist, even if you don't have the weight, really try and get that rotation so that those shoulders almost become parallel with those legs. Get that rotation from side to side. So it can be anywhere from just doing that Russian twist like this to adding in any of those components to make it a little bit more challenging, whatever you want out of it. So that is your strength component for this station. Your hit are going to be crab kicks, holding yourself up on your hands and feet, reaching diagonally across, right hand to left foot, left hand to right foot, back and forth. Trying to go as fast as you can, making sure you get that extension and that touch of your toe. If this becomes too difficult, you can plant that butt on the ground and still have that rotation from side to side, reaching hands to foot. All right, let's get to it. Station number 2 in 3, 2, 1, and go. So remember, you can be just here, getting that rotation from side to side, making sure you're not sitting too straight up. More difficult, the more horizontal you get. More difficult by raising in between those twists. Even more difficult if you add that weight. All the way up, all the way down, right into that hit in 3, 2, 1, and hit it. Up, touching those alternate hands to feet as fast as you can. That modification to make it a little bit easier, right here on the ground, dropping that butt, still engaging that core, getting that twist and that feel. Go ahead and break. 10 seconds right here. Reset for those Russian twists. 3, 2, 1, and go. And again, can make it even more challenging by lifting those feet. Modifications to be made easier or harder. You need to push your limits, not anyone else watching this video, but what you can do and what you need right here. Ready? And hit it. Up into those crab kicks. As fast as you can, get that body moving. Little twists from side to side, and break. All right, one more time right here, into those Russian twists, and go. So this isn't something that I want you to just spin through from side to side. I want you to really feel that full range of motion, feeling that twist in that core. So not crumpling your body forward, but getting that twist around that spine and feeling those obliques pull to give that twist. 3, 2, 1, and crab kicks. Last time, let's go. Kick, 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 as fast as you can. If you were sitting for these, try and get your body up. You got it right here. 3 more seconds, push it, and break. Nice work. Station number 2 is done. On to number 3. So for number 3, you've got to have that ledge. So I have a chair. Again, you could have a cooler. You could use the bed. It's going to be a little mushy if you try to do that, or a table if you're outside, stairs. But this is going to be your tricep dip. So hands are going to be on that chair, that ledge, with your palms faced behind you, right on that chair. Getting your body just in front of that ledge surface, still vertical. Easier with your legs bent like this, harder with them straight out. Lowering that body until that upper part of your arm is parallel to the floor, that elbow is at 90 degrees. Keeping them close to your body. Don't let your elbows come out, but nice and tight, and pushing back up. Lower, pause, push up, pause. Lower, pause, push up, and pause. Again, harder with legs straight, easier with them bent. If you want to make them even more challenging, you could raise one leg at a time, 5 on one side, drop it, 5 on the other for those dips. So that's your strength component. And then your hit over here are going to be toe taps. So you're going to pop up off that ledge, and your hit is going to be bringing that foot up to tap the edge of that ledge, whatever you were just on, as quick as you can. So if you have a chair, it's up nice and high. If you've got a lower step, it'll be nice and low. Many different combinations. You could come over to the side to do a lower one if you want the lower bridge of the chair, but that'll be your hit. Let's get into station 3. Right in 3, 2, 1, and go. So with these tricep dips, remember, harder with those legs straight. Pause at the bottom, keeping your elbows nice and tight to your body, pushing all the way back up. You don't want to go too slow, but you do want to have that pause, 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 pause. 3, 2, 1, pop up and hit it right here. So those toe taps nice and high. Don't let your body creep forward. Easier if you keep it nice and erect. Try and tuck those hips underneath, using that core for that stability as fast as you can. And break. All right, set back up for those tricep dips. 3, 2, 1, and go. So again, if you have those knees bent, you're still dipping down, pushing back up. Dip and dip. If you want to make it even more challenging, really have that slow decrease and explosion up. Nice and slow, explosion up. 3, 2, 1, explode. 3, 2, 1, explode. You've got 3, 2, 1, and hit it. Let's go. Pop it up. Right into it. Quick transition. It's only 20 seconds long. You got it going nice and quick, as fast as you can. Got that heart rate pumping. Knock your chair over and break. All right, last time right here. You've got it. Set it up. 3, 2, 1, and go. This third time, push through that fatigue. I'd rather have you have less reps than a lot of them that don't have that full range of motion. So make sure you're still getting that full range. Make the modifications if you need to. It's okay to make it a little easier the third time around and push through that fatigue. 3, 2, 1, and hit it. Nice and quick. Right here, last time you got to do this. Nice and fast, let's go. Keep it up, over halfway. And break. Woo! Over halfway done. You can get rid of that ledge, move it out of the way. And coming on to station 4. So station 4, you're going to have a hip bridge with an optional weight. This is where you can have the 2 lighter weights if you have them. So remember with that hip bridge, starting down on your back, and just the hip bridge itself, lifting those hips up straight, making a straight line with that upper thigh all the way through your torso to your shoulders, really engaging your butt to squeeze through those glutes and hold those hips up as high as you can, and then lower it back down. Modification would be to lower all the way to the ground, let it go, and then lift it again. Make it a little harder with just letting it hover over the ground and not releasing completely before you push back up. Again, pausing at the top, have that contraction, then release. Raise and release. Your optional addition here are those 2 lighter weights, holding your arms straight up over and pouring in, pouring out, working those rotator cuffs. It's a little shoulder action here, those very minute muscles in your shoulder. That's going to just continue to move as you're lowering and lifting those hips. This can be a very easy exercise if you don't engage your butt, so really make sure you're engaging those glutes. That's your strength component of this. Your hit here is going to be flipping over onto your stomach, raising both legs and arms, and getting that flutter kick behind and moving those arms out in front of you in that Superman position. So get set up, grab those weights, those wine bottles, those water bottles, whatever you've got, and we go in 3, 2, 1, and go. So again, lifting up with those hips, engaging those glutes, and then optional pour in, pour out with those weights overhead. With this exercise, with these weights, it's not something that you're going to be fatigued from until later on. You'll feel the muscles nice and deep in those shoulders get a little tired. 3, 2, 1, flip it over and hit it right here. Let's go. Kick, kick, kick. Really make sure you're raising that chest off of the ground, that upper thigh is off the ground as you have these motions. They'll kiss it as you're kicking, but making sure you've got that elevation so you feel it all the way along your back. And break. Back into it. Ready, go. So with that rotator cuff again, something that's going to get fatigued later on, you're not going to feel it initially right here, but you've got all those little muscles in your shoulder, in your hip, in your knee, all of those major joints that support those larger motions that you do with the larger exercise motions, with the larger muscle groups. They're already getting worked there, but this is going to help refine them even more. And hit it right here, flip it over. Push it, let's go. Nice and quick. Having that gaze right around where your hands are. You don't want to crick your neck up too high. And break. All right, one more time right here, you got it. In 3, 2, 1, and go. Squeeze all the way up, have that pause. You'll really feel it in your hamstrings and your glute. Remember, easy modification to make it a little bit more difficult is to have it just hover above the ground instead of kissing the ground. 3, 2, 1, and flip it. Let's go. Right here, push it, push it, push it. Hold it together, you've got 5 more seconds. And break. All right, last one. Piece of cake, right? All right, last one we got to do is a wide elbow push-up with an alternate arm raise as an option. And then our hit is going to be a pendulum motion. So as most of you know, you have many different modifications that you can use in a push-up. So that wide elbow, instead of that tricep push-up that brings your elbows behind, I want it in that traditional wide stance so that you've got those elbows that will come down to 90 degrees. You're really engaging your chest. So you've got the push-up. When you get back up to the top, you've got an optional arm raise out in front. Back to that plank position, push-up, and then the other side. Try not to let your body roll too much from side to side. Try to hold it together if you do that arm raise, then back into that push-up. Remember, always a modification for push-ups are dropping to those knees. You can even still do that arm raise. Main focus here is that push-up with those elbows out to the side, not behind. We've already really worked those triceps, so we can use that chest for these push-ups. So, and then you're going to pop up nice and tall, pendulum from side to side, using those obliques to pull, alternating those foot motions, and getting it nice and quick from side to side, really engaging that core. All right, so let's get into it. Last station right here, you got it. Push it out. We go in 3, 2, 1, and go. So remember, push up nice and wide, elbow down to the ground and back up. Simplest right here. If you want that additional arm raise, making sure you alternate from side to side. That modification of dropping to your knee for that push-up. 3, 2, 1, pop it up. Pendulum, let's go. Side to side. Right into those hits. I know it's an immediate transition, but you can do it. Pop it up, get it moving. It's only 20 seconds of work right here. Nice and quick. And break. With that pendulum, you don't have to bring your foot way out. It can be nice and controlled and concise. Drop back down, 3, 2, 1, and go. Again, trying to keep everything nice and controlled. Lowering all the way down to the ground for that hover. If you want, you can also do one leg at a time. Down and up. Three, 2, 1, and go. So again, nice and controlled. Don't use that upper body to throw it over from side to side, but use those obliques to crunch and engage for that hinge and that pendulum motion. And break. All right, last one right here. If you've taken my class before, you know only 50 seconds of work right here. Ready? And go. Less than a minute. Let's go right here. Push it out. Whatever you do, whatever modification you take, keep that body moving. Don't let it break. Three, 2, 1, pop it up, let's go. Hit it right here. Last one, we got it right here. 20 seconds. Nice and quick. Feel that engage, pull that belly button in. Right here, push. And break. Woo, nice work. We made it. You've got it. All right, so take those moments, take a little walk around your space. Only need a fair amount of space right here. Take those deep breaths in. Matching those deep breaths in with a nice controlled breath out. Control that breath in and out. You'll help lower that heart rate nice and slow. You never want to have it drop. That's when you're going to get dizzy, lose that stability. If you are feeling good, again, this is a moment where you could pause the video, go walk around a little bit more, get that heart rate down to where you need it to be nice and comfortable. But if you are feeling good, get those legs just a little bit wider than those hips. Shaking out those arms. Getting some nice shoulder circles back. About 5 backwards. And then swish 5 forward. Continuing those deep breaths in, deep breaths out. Reaching those hands up nice and high. Having that right hand grab that left wrist, pulling up and over to the right. As you're doing this, feel that stretch all the way down the side of your body. Don't let yourself crumple forward. Don't let your back buckle and arc backwards. Keep it nice and straight to feel that stretch through the entire side body. All the way up, left grabs right, up and over to the left. Again, making sure that you're keeping that body nice and straight. You're not letting that butt stick out and back arc. You're not crumpling forward. Keeping it nice and straight up and over to the side. And release that, shake it out. Move those feet even a little bit wider. Nice deep breath in. Reach all the way up towards that sky. And control deep breath out, forward fold down towards the ground. Let that upper body hang. Feel that release of tension all the way along your back. Heel toe your feet out a little bit further. And reach over to that right leg just above your ankle. You can grab for some stability. Don't ever grab your ankle or your knee. Those joints aren't meant to have that extra pressure on them. And also make sure that they're slightly bent. Never want to lock out your knee. Pulling that chest down towards your thigh. Feeling that stretch all the way along the posterior part of your leg. And release that over to the left-hand side. With each exhale, try to sink a little bit further into that stretch, pulling that chest down towards your leg. And release that back towards the middle. Heel toe your way back in towards center, just about hip distance. Nice deep breath in. Reach all the way up towards that sky. Let it out. Shake it out. Nice job. All right, nice work. You guys made it through 30 minutes. Pretty intense workout, especially if you're outside nice and hot. But get through it, and we'll see you again soon.